Well, let's talk about what a typical evening looks like when Brian gets home from work. So Jenny, in your perspective, what is that? I'd love to hear what that looks like after a day um, of being home, and then when Brian comes home, what does that look like?
Well, I'm usually with the baby and I'm like exhausted at this point, and he just goes to like do whatever he wants to do. He goes to his phone, he goes to lay down on the couch, doesn't really acknowledge me in the fact that I've been stressed all day. And it's just annoying. You're just annoying me when you do that. And I don't know what to do about it, because it's not like he doesn't even see the way I'm feeling.
Mm, okay, and Brian, I'd love to hear your response to what Jenny's saying. What is that? What is hearing that like for you? And do you agree? Um, and what's it like coming home in your perspective?
In my perspective, when I come home to Jenny, I'm tired and stressed after a long day of work, and she doesn't let me see the baby because she feels like all I does is work, and she doesn't include me with the child.
Okay, so I noticed that the two of you are using a couple of you statements. And a you statement is going to start off um, with a blaming or saying you're doing this to your partner. And so while I'm hearing both of you express valid concerns for each other, I'd like to try that again, both of you, using something called an I statement. So instead, Brian, I'll use your concern for an example. Instead of saying, you never let me hold the baby, or she never lets me hold the baby, how could we change that to something that starts with an I, and something that's your observation or the way you feel about the situation? And Jenny, I'll have you do the same thing. So who would like to try that out first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I guess I feel exhausted and like you don't see me when you are working a lot and you come home and go straight to, something else before attending me. Um, and I feel like I would be happier and just more supported if there was that kind of change.
That was good. That was good. I loved how you used I feel. You let Brian know in a less accusatory way what was going on for you. Feel free to also include things like I notice. From my perspective, it looks like. You can try a bunch of different ways to start that conversation, but that was really good. Brian, how was it hearing that and this time around?
I feel like since I'm working late and I'm stressed, and you're home alone with the baby, and you feel stressed, I feel like it's causing harm to our relationship.
Okay. I heard you again using I feel, but also using a you again at the end of that you're causing stress to our relationship. So how can we kind of re-envision that statement to say something that you're noticing, instead of accusing Jenny of adding stress to your relationship? Can you give her an observation in your opinion,
Okay.
starting with I?
Okay. I observe that every time I come home, I am not feeling loved, or I do not feel like the relationship is where it should be because I'm working so late.
Okay.